Hi everyone, welcome to the Color Combo collaboration. This is co-hosted with Stamp Girl and myself, and there's a small group of us that every month on the last day of the month, so this would be May 31st, which is Memorial Day in the States. Hello and happy Memorial Day. So our colors don't reflect Memorial Day, but they're bright and kind of summery. Now we did have a change. I think this was originally a different color and it got pushed to next month. I swapped them out and I did send an email, so if you didn't get that, I apologize. So some people might not have exactly the right colors, but Garden Green, Coastal Cabana, Calypso Coral are the colors for the month of May. And I struggle a little bit with this. The first thing I usually do is pull out the inks, pull out the cardstock, and then I go looking in my designer series paper. Well, there were some that had Calypso Coral and there were some that had Garden Green, but none of them had this color combination. So I decided I'm gonna have to make my own, right? So I used Quiet Meadow on, I have two cards, and I did two different ways with this brand new bundle. It's it coordinates with the Meadow dies, so Quiet Meadow. This is on page 110 of the new Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog for 2021 to 2022, and the bundle number's 155847 for both, which I highly suggest. I also used on the second card this Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder, one of my faves, and then cardstock, and I'll tell you anything else as I go. Oh, on both cards I did use this Calypso Coral twine, which is kind of a mess, but this is out of the product medley that's going away. Flowering Cactus product medley refill, or well, actually the whole kit, and this has Calypso Coral. Did not have the green either, but I wanted to use this Calypso Coral twine, so thank you, kit. And that goes away at the end of June, or you know, until supplies last. So let me show you the first card. I used a Garden Green card base. I stamped using the stamps. I used Calypso Coral for this and this. I used, I'm sorry, no I didn't. I used Coastal Cabana for this and this. I used Calypso Coral for this flower. And then I did Garden Green and Calypso Coral for these two little flowers just all over. And then this I stamped in Memento Tuxedo Black, and we don't have a Garden Green Stampin' blend. Hang on a second, I have to put a pin in my glue. Maybe I may let it sit too long. Eeks. Anyway, we don't have an alcohol marker for Garden Green. We do, however, have a Stampin' Right, which is fine because these stems are a little thin, so I colored them with Garden Green in the Stampin' Right, and then I used our blender, oops, that's not the right ones, our blender pens. They come in a set of 3, just to kind of smooth out, because it's dye-based ink, these work with that, just to smooth out some leaves and things where I maybe didn't get full color on. And then we do have Calypso Coral. Oops, that's not the right one. It must be this one. Yeah. Nope, that's Cajun Craze. I know we have it. I used it. Here we go. Dark and light. This is the brand new Pale Papaya. I used dark and light Calypso Coral, and I actually used just a tiny bit of light Bermuda Bay because I thought that would be close to Calypso Coral in the centers of the flowers. And light and dark Calypso Coral on the flowers themselves. And then this little butterfly is part of the dies in the set. There's no stamp to go with that. but there are two little butterflies and they don't cut that center part out. So, which I thought was kind of unusual, but anyway. We have other butterfly sets too. The Thinking of You is from the stamp set, and this die is also in the bundle. It's this die right here. And then these Coastal Cabana blings are from Playing with Patterns resin dots, and they're right here. I love these resin dots, by the way. So that is the first card, and then on the inside I just used I stamped off in Calypso Coral that flower again like I was using on the front, and I stamped full strength Coastal Cabana, the little dots going up the side, and that's all I did on the inside of that one. So the second card I used mostly the dies, and here it is. I used a Calypso Coral vertical card backing. I cut out all these wonderful dies except for these little things I didn't know what to do with, and I cut them out in some of these tall skinny ones I cut out in Garden Green. I think I cut two of that one and one of this one in Garden Green, and then all the other ones I cut out in Coastal Cabana and Calypso Coral. I cut the other butterfly out in Calypso Coral, but no I didn't, in Coastal Cabana. But then I used the light Bermuda Bay marker and just drew on some sections of the wings and the body. And then I used Wink Stella on the wings. Now this I put down with, these I glued all down. So I figured out how I wanted them. Then I glued them, you know, the ones in the back first, and then layered them up kind of thing. Maybe should have put a bling right there. Anyway. Oh. This is where I used the Tasteful Textile die. I ran it through the embossing folder, and then I stamped it with the dot thing in Coastal Cabana. Yes, Coastal Cabana. Anyway, this I should have glued down, because when I used the dots, obviously because the flowers are, even though they're glued, they're sort of layered, but it made it kind of wavy, which I guess is okay because the butterflies, you know, waving. Anyway, I stamped Thinking of You in Garden Green, and then these are from the Artistry Blooms. They carried over to the new annual catalog, and they're in Calypso Coral. There's also some in Coastal Cabana, so you could use either, but I felt like I had enough Coastal Cabana on here, so I used the Calypso Coral. And then the twine I just wrapped 3 times around before I glued the background down, and then I tied a bow, double bow kind of thing, and I just stuck that down here with a glue dot, and I think that kind of came out pretty cool. And then inside I just did the dots again going down the side. So we have the Garden Green just peeking through here and on the stamp. Those are my 2 cards for this month's Color Combo Collab. Please be sure to go check everyone else out, and don't forget to come back next month. We post at 10 a.m. Eastern on the last day of every month for our Color Combo Collab using Stampin' Up! Colors that I selected, and then for the whole year. And if people participating don't have those colors, they just have to use something as close to it as they can get. That's kind of the rules, but those that have them should use the Stampin' Up! Colors selected. Alright everyone, have a wonderful day. Happy Memorial Day here in the US, and I will talk to you again soon. Hugs, love, and peace.